Hi, we're going to do stuff with Jeff. Here we are back working on the 2006 Subaru Baja and are going to replace the lower ball joint. So, you can see it's already wet. I've already soaked it down with some WD-40. I've got the new ball joint right here, and that fits right up in there. You can see how the old one is, the boot is all trashed, so there's no doubt it needs to be replaced, and that obviously explains why there's some wiggle in there. To give you a rundown of what we're going to do, this pinch bolt right here holds the top in place, so we have to remove that bolt, and that's the dangerous part. We don't want to break that off. We have to remove the cotter pin from below and the castle nut. We have to essentially get a breaker bar and break that apart. I don't have a fork. I can go and get a fork to break the ball joint out, but if that comes apart, I should be able to loosen the pinch bolt, the space in there enough that it'll drop out, and we'll throw the new one in. I'll be back in a moment. Yeah, that cotter pin is coming out nice and easy. I straightened it out. Got some wired dikes here, and I just slowly inch it out. Hard to do one-handed, but see, it just slowly slides out, slides out, slides out. The new one came with the new one, so I don't even have to worry about trying to preserve its shape, and that's that. Next step is to take off the castle nut. Alright, you can see I've broken free that castle nut. It was a 19mm. I did use a breaker bar. Probably could have got it with a regular wrench, but you know, it was a little easier with a breaker bar. I also am choosing to remove the lower link from the sway bar link, the lower bolt, just because I just don't want it getting caught up and hanging in the way. It's a 12mm bolt and nut, so we can just loosen that up and have it out of the way. The 14mm pinch bolt came right off, nice and slick and easy. So we'll drop that out. Now, what we're going to do is drop a pry bar. I tightened up the castle nut on the bottom. I didn't tighten it, but I snugged it up just enough. So what I'm going to do is get a pry bar right in here, nice long pry bar that I happen to have, and see if I can pop that out. See if I can do this on camera. No, I need two hands. I'll be back in a minute. So, as usual, didn't come out easy. What I ended up doing was taking this chisel and pounding it into the slit there, the slit for the pinch bolt, and that was able to loosen it up enough. I was able to get the pry bar in, get it under here, and really crank down on it, and you can see this is the lower ball joint finally coming out. Wasn't easy. Alright, we got the lower A-arm here. The ball joint is out. See if we can see the yeah, well, you got that's where the ball joint is held in. And a little comparison here. The old one just kind of flops around. That's the old one. The boot is just trashed, and you can see it's just completely loose in there. And the new one, you can't move it with one finger. It doesn't have any play in it. So we'll slide that new one back in, tighten it up. I'll be right back. So what I did was I simply WD-40 down the hole. I cleaned it out a little bit. Put the castle nut on the new one, slid it in as far as it would go, and just lightly gave it a couple of taps with the hammer to get it to nice and seat. And you want to make sure the hole, you want to make sure it is seated in the hole, nice and snug in there. So now we can remove this, finagle it around, and drop the pin through the lower A-arm and tighten it back up. I'll be right back. Okay, here everything is. I've got the sway bar link back and tightened. I got to tighten this up to 37 foot-pounds, and this is 25 foot-pounds. So I got my my trusty torque wrench. I'm going to tighten those up. Be right back. And there we have it. We got a pinch bolt that's tightened to spec. We've got the castle nut tightened to spec and the cotter pin in. We got the sway bar link tightened back up. Only thing to do left is throw the wheel on and take it for a ride. Have a good one, folks.